Coming up on Cardinals Insider.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
2,000 Cardinals in the National League era. A look at the men who've worn the uniform. Plus,
it's fun kind of getting to see everybody teach everybody something of what they learned.
Get to know Cardinals backstop Matt Wieters. And later,
Albert Pujols, you talk about a most valuable player. How is that? Woo!
El Hombre returns this weekend. We remember his greatest moments in St. Louis. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm your host, Ozzie Smith. On May 29th, Genesis Cabrera became the 2000th Cardinal since the club joined the National League in 1892. That group includes Hall of Famers and journeymen alike. But all of them have helped build the Cardinals' legacy. Here's our Brett McMillan with context on the men who got us to 2000.
The franchise has been in St. Louis longer than anyone living, and since 1892 it's been personified by 2,000 different faces, each helping to build the legacy that is Cardinals baseball.
Swinging a long one into left field. Adios, goodbye, and maybe that's the way.
They've created the moments that still give you chills.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
They're your guy. Or maybe they're the reason that particular season will always be your team.
We are going to game number 7!
You've never met most of them, maybe any of them. But they're part of why you love the game. The history, the magic,
Safe! Ozzie Smith scores!
the greatness.
Pujols rips it fair, and the Cardinals are going to win it!
They came from all over, small towns and big cities. Some from faraway places, while others stepped out from among us.
We will see you tomorrow night!
Their nicknames told us something about them. There's Red and Hoot, Country and Ducky, Dizzy and Daffy, the Wizard and the Raj, the Man and the Machine. For 128 seasons, they've done the impossible.
Down the left field line, is it enough? Gone! There it is! 60-10!
Bringing you to your feet and binding us all together in the process. From every creed, color, and background, they've come to put on that jersey, to wear that enduring emblem of America's pastime in America's heartland. They've become the faces of home, our ambassadors to the world. These are the 11-time world champion Cardinals. These are the faces of a franchise. 128 years, 2,000 names, and a million memories of baseball in St. Louis. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Brett McMillan.
One of those 2,000 players is Matt Wieters. The veteran signed with the Cardinals this spring. He's mostly backed up Yachty, but when Molina sits out, Wieters fills in admirably. Emily Stevens has more on the 11-year veteran.
A 4-time All-Star and 2 Gold Glove Awards. Catcher Matt Wieters is familiar with the game and is thrilled to wear the birds on the bat.
I'm excited about it. It's a great organization. Kind of being on the outside and looking at the Cardinals, you kind of always look around and say, those guys do a little bit differently. On top of that, I feel like we have a great team. So being able to be a part of a team that has a chance is always a goal going to spring training, and I definitely think this team has a chance.
A first-round draft pick in 2007 and 11 years in the big leagues. Wieters has played for numerous teams, but describes the Cardinals fan base as nothing like he's ever experienced.
It's pretty special. Just the fan base in general. Since I've joined, you kind of just see the connection to the team that you have, and to be able to go through opening day and see all the great Hall of Famers. Now, of course, the horses going around the field. It's great. It's like none I've had before. In Baltimore, we had great fans, great open days, but to the extent that the Cardinals go to the open day, it's really special.
Wieters describes filling in for Yachty as pretty special. A tough shoe to fill, but his experience and love for the game remains the same.
been really refreshing to see that a guy who's as great as he is as great as because of the time and effort he puts into it, as well as, he just loves the game. And just getting to watch him, and when he wasn't playing early in spring training, he's still at every game on the top step trying to be able to help out where he can. So it's, for me, as playing for 10 years, it's refreshing to see a guy who's played for 16 years and be able to just see how much love he still has for the game.
With fewer at-bats than other players, Wieters shined in the month of May, hitting 4 RBIs and 3 home runs, 2 of which were on back-to-back nights against the Phillies.
It'll be a matter of putting in the reps, making sure the body feels good to where when I do get that opportunity, I'm ready to go.
11 seasons playing ball and a fierce love for the game. Wieters is enjoying his first year as a St. Louis Cardinal. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Emily Stevens.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider.
Deep right center field. Did he do it again? Sosa back. It is gone.
Albert in the STL, a look back at his storied Cardinals career. Also coming up.
That awesome. Makes it official. Congratulations. Thank you.
Meet 2019 first-round draft pick Zack Thompson. That's all ahead. Albert Pujols is back in St. Louis this weekend for the first time since leaving as a free agent after the 2011 season. It's sure to be a weekend full of special moments, just like Albert's career as a Cardinal. We've put together some of our favorite moments from Pujols' 11-year stay in the Louvre.
And there's the first base hit of the Major League career of Albert Pujols, so congratulations to him.
Swing and a shot deep to left. It is a home run, and the Cardinals win it on a Albert Pujols home run. Albert Pujols sends 44,000 fans home happy. Wow, what a year. What a year for Albert Pujols.
Pujols into right center field. That ball is trouble. Get going. Gone. Home run for Albert. Wow, that is crushed into left field. Albert Pujols, 4 for 4. His second home run. Power against power. Albert wins that battle. There goes Renteria. The pitch is driven into deep right center field. Did he do it again? Sosa back. It is gone. A 3-home run day for Pujols, and the Cardinals have taken the lead. It's 10-8 St. Louis. One of the most unbelievable games of the season, and Pujols, a 3-home run day, 5 for 5.
Swinging along one. There it is, baby. The Cardinals take the lead as Albert Pujols comes through in the pit. And the Redbirds lead this baby 5-4. What'd I tell you, folks? Albert Pujols, you talk about a most valuable player. How is that? Woo! That thing left the ballpark in a hurry.
Pujols rips it fair. Hit number 2,000 down into the corner. And with this double, Pujols joins Stan the Man, Brock, Hornsby, and Slaughter as Cardinals with 2,000 hits.
That is hammered into left. That ball is absolutely murdered. Here's one into left center field. Back at the track, he's got another. And more respect. Unbelievable. Then he hits me, and here goes one into left. How about 3 on the night in a row?
Straight ahead,
Can't think of a better baseball city to be in.
from UK Blue to Cardinal Red, Cards' first-round pick, Zack Thompson, signs on the dotted line. Plus,
we keep it upbeat, we keep it fast, we keep it fun.
Learning baseball the Cardinals way from Cardinals themselves. That's still to come. Have you listened to the Cardinals Insider podcast yet? Each week, the show welcomes players, executives, and alumni Plus, hear audio from the Cardinals Radio Archives. Take Cardinal baseball with you on the Cardinals Insider podcast. Listen or subscribe wherever you get your podcast or at cardinals.com/podcast. On June 3rd, the Cardinals took Kentucky left-hander Zack Thompson 19th overall during the first round of the Major League Baseball draft. Thompson came to St. Louis to sign his first pro contract. That's the subject of a special Bear Farm report.
That's it. That awesome. Makes it official. Congratulations. Thank you.
It's a dream come true. Thank you to the whole Cardinals organization, the whole city of St. Louis. Can't wait to get started. Can't think of a better baseball city to be in.
With the 19th selection of the 2019 MLB Draft, the St. Louis Cardinals select Zack Thompson, a left-handed pitcher from the University of Kentucky.
Once I got the call, it was just blacked out. It was just so surreal. Getting to be there with my family and the people that were closest to me the last 3 years there, and to go to such a great organization, such a blue-collar organization, it was a dream come true.
A lifelong dream for myself to see one of my children get to reach this level.
Every mom wants to see their kid have his dreams come true. It's a great baseball city and it's close for us, and I think he'll do really well here. I think he's going to love it here. So, yeah, that was a good place for us.
I mean, it's just so nice. Now I get to focus on baseball every day. It's not sunk in yet that I'm actually working right now. Just cannot wait to get back here, work my tail off to get here, and cannot wait to make this organization proud.
Each summer, the Cardinals put on baseball clinics for kids throughout the St. Louis area. Cards alum teach drills, and other special guests also show up to some of these special clinics.
Cardinals Kids Clinics are for ages 7 to 13. We use former Major League players, and we cover 5 fundamentals in baseball. So we keep it upbeat, we keep it fast, we keep it fun. There's a lot of repetition at each station, so they're going to get to swing the bat a lot. They're going to get to catch a lot of ground balls. We have 12, and some of them are real. Highland's not that far out of St. Louis. We're 50 miles. Belleville would be a place where we'll be on the Illinois side. Now we'll go down to Cape Girardeau. We'll go up to Effingham. We'll go to Springfield, Illinois. We'll go to Columbia, Missouri. But we found that the further actually we get out of St. Louis, the more excited the kids are to have us, because you just don't get out there very often.
I've been with the Cardinals and the best organization in baseball ever since. So I debuted in 2017 as an outfielder. So if anybody needs any pitching lessons, I'm sorry, I can't really help you. You gotta talk to that guy. Thank you.
He likes to talk with the kids. He did one last year out at Baldwin, and he really enjoyed it. So when we offered that up to him this year, he said, "I'll do them all if that's what you need." And we said, "That's great." So yeah, we always like the younger players too.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, can I get a picture of you guys?
Probably the best reason is the fact that they're going to get major league instruction, because everybody that's in front of them, that's giving them any type of tip or knowledge about the game, actually wore that Cardinal uniform. And I don't know of anybody else that does that.
It's time for this week's trivia question. We're in the third week of a 3-part series on the 1944 All-St. Louis World Series between the Cardinals and the Browns. The two teams shared Sportsman's Park from 1920 to 1953, but which one was the tenant? Was it the Cardinals or the Browns? The answer when we return. We're back with the answer to this week's trivia question. We asked which team was the tenant when the Cardinals and Browns shared Sportsman's Park. The answer is the Cardinals. The Redbirds left Robeson Field at Natural Bridge and Vandeventer after the 1919 season. From 1920 to 1953, the Browns were the Cardinals' landlords until Anheuser-Busch completed 2 separate purchases in 1953, one for the Cardinals and the other for Sportsman's Park. After that season, the Browns moved to Baltimore. It's been 75 years since Sportsman's Park hosted every game of the 1944 Fall Classic. The past 2 weeks, we've told you about the two teams separately. Today, we remember the series itself and the impact it had on St. Louis.
In the history of baseball, 1944 is one of those three moments in time. The three moments are all the games are played in the same stadium.
St. Louis is streaming into Sportsman's Park today to see the prodigal Browns and the repeating National League champion Cardinals match wits, bats, and brawn.
The epicenter now of baseball is coming from St. Louis, Missouri. It's really remarkable if you think about that. For fans in St. Louis, it was their time to shine.
That's what became the nickname of this World Series, was the Streetcar Series. And Sportsman's Park sat on Grand Avenue at Dodier. Grand runs the whole length of the city at that time. It was the main thoroughfare, and it was a heavy streetcar.
All the games were broadcast on the Armed Forces Radio Network, which meant that all baseball in the country, because we've only got two teams playing, one series left, the World Series. So every game in Major League Baseball is being broadcast around the world and is coming from Sportsman's Park in St. Louis, Missouri.
Well, Billy Southworth and Lou Sewell were the managers, Southworth of the Cardinals, Sewell with the Browns. They set up an arrangement of their own. Well, we can share an appointment because half the time I'm gone and you're home, and the other half you're gone and I'm home. It came now all of a sudden, we're both in town at the same time. And what happened was they actually flipped a coin, and Luke Sewell, the Browns manager, got to stay in the apartment, and Southworth was able, as this became known, there was a tenant in their same apartment complex who said, use mine, I'm going out of town, and that's how it solved.
Interestingly, from a wartime perspective, with the rationing on gasoline, you could not request tickets to the World Series games if you lived outside of a certain radius or region of the ballpark.
The jubilant Cardinals mobbed Ted Wilkes. This victory brought them the World Series title, 4-2.
So it was purely and truly a World Series for the fans of St. Louis because their two teams were playing, yet those games were being heard by listeners and by ears all over the world because of the Armed Forces Radio Network.
Coming up next. Stay with us. In 2017, Busch Stadium hosted the NHL's Winter Classic, but on June 12th, it hosted a different kind of hockey event. The Cardinals opened the ballpark for a Stanley Cup Game 7 watch party.
Steps to it. Tarasenko sent one in front. For the first time in their history, the St. Louis Blues are the Stanley Cup champions.
Did you know you can get a free soda at Cardinal games? It's part of the Designated Driver program. Sign up to be a designated driver and get a free Coke product from the concession stand.
So the Cardinals, Lower, Budweiser, Delaware North Sports Service, and Team Coalition have teamed up to implement the Responsibility Has Its Reward Budweiser Good Sport Designated Driver program. So we do it just to promote, there's a lot of drinking that happens within the game, and we want to make sure that everybody's getting home safely, or at least has a plan. If they have a driver, if they take a Lyft or an Uber, to make sure that everybody gets home safe from a day of drinking. So when they sign up, they'll get a free soda voucher that they can use at the concession stands. If you go to the kiosks on Guest Relations Level 1 and Guest Relations Level 4, and then there's a line you'll see, and you can just sign up with your information on there. You can sign up as soon as gates open until the middle of the first inning.
I come down here, get a game. Instead of drinking alcohol, I just get this. It's an opportunity to get a free drink and good opportunity for the ballpark to recognize the people that are going to be designated drivers.
During the game, they'll randomly pick a name out of everybody who signed up that day, and then they will go ahead and win a cooler. It's a soft-sided cooler, and then there's just some goodies from Budweiser. A lot of other MLB teams do this. We do have the most signups. We have had the most signups for the past 10 years or so. We have about 800 signups a game. I think it's a great program to make sure that everybody who's been drinking that day or night has a plan to get home, and I think this is incentive to make sure they can do that.
When we return,
For the first time in their history, the St. Louis Blues are the Stanley Cup champions.
stay with us. This episode is coming to a close, but we're always online at cardinals.com/insider. Plus, our YouTube page houses all of our content, including individual stories and past episodes. We close today's show with big congratulations to our neighbors down the street. The St. Louis Blues are Stanley Cup champions for the first time in their 52-year history. We leave you with the sights and sounds of their victory parade through downtown St. Louis.